Hello fellow divers and welcome in day 5 of our Dave the Diver adventure, and we have just unlocked Cobra's shop on day 5, which allows us to sell all the good things we've been picking up. I sell everything, like the teeth, the ores. The only thing I do keep is a little stack of copper ore and whatever iron ore I found, because iron ore is typically not in the way of my typical dives, and we are going to need some iron at some point, so I just don't want to sell it. And then I can fairly extensively upgrade my gear with all the money I've had from previous nights, because we've unlocked the puffer Nikogori, and also from all the stuff I've just sold. So I'm here with 7,000 gold on my hands. Of course, if you haven't done if you haven't done as much picking up the copper ores as I have in my first dive, you wouldn't have as much money, but you'd still have enough to kind of do your upgrades. I could have upgraded the cargo box an extra time to get some extra money, and probably should have, but I want to be sure that I don't spend too much money in order to have like the guarantee to be able to actually recruit all the people, all the 4 staff that are being offered to us. Most of the time it's not going to be a problem, but there are some staff that actually cost a lot of gold to recruit, and also I might get some staff that I want to train immediately, especially if I directly get Davina and Masayoshi, which are 2 characters I want to level up to level 7 as soon as I get them. So yeah, that's why I'm keeping a good buffer of money, and also because I don't want to make my dives too long. So in this dive and in the dives for today, generally speaking, our goal is going to be to, well, move on with the story as always, but also to keep just focusing on what we've been doing, so getting puffers and getting fish with high value, as well as some other things I'm going to be talking about. So I'm not going to actually play through the entire dive, because those are getting pretty long, but I'm just going to comment a little bit and maybe edit so I show you what I kind of focus on. So you just saw here I picked up those little tile fish. The little tile fish, as I already said, they're worth 75 gold per kilo, so absolutely something you want to be picking up. And then there's also some fish we are going to start farming for ingredients, and you'll see that soon. But for now, let's just move on with the video. So here we'll be fighting against the tiger shark, and we have an extra little difficulty with the barracuda annoying us. If I'm not overburdened, I always try and fight the tiger shark, and here we have the double trouble. We traded a barracuda for a long-nosed saw shark, so I kind of have to navigate through this. Of course, getting rid of the barracudas is an important thing, so I don't end up in an annoying situation. And I leave the tiger shark alone for a bit now, but I'm gonna get back to him, and we're gonna finish this discussion we just had. I also pick up red mullet, and I focus also heavily on catching cuttlefish. And here we finish off the tiger shark. We actually got in a bit of a dicey spot here, so I just make sure that I get some oxygen. I'm gonna get back to him again. So the cuttlefish I take, so I'm in an attempt to get cuttlefish skins. The cuttlefish skins are important if you want to unlock either the tranquilizer rifle or the tranquilizer sniper. You need 3 cuttlefish skins for both of them. Depending on whether you want to have both, you can take 2, or you can take 6, or just 3. Another fish I take is the mackerel scads, as well as the big-eyed scads, because both of them are not as good as the tilefish, and I'm trying to also aim at those things. It's not easy to hit those tilefish with tranquilizer, but yeah, I'm doing my best, and I actually just catch them 2 stars as well, because, you know, I cannot get like ammo refills all the time. And even at 2 stars, they're still pretty good. Here I just catch the cuttlefish and see I got a skin. I got a skin from one of them. So mullets, if you take them 2 stars, they're worth 14 gold per kilo. So it's still a good value. Don't forget to take the puffers, of course. And now we move on with the story. Plant the bomb, explode the thing. So moving on, the story is should always be a priority. And if you wanna optimize your revenue and make it grow as fast as possible, because well, you want to go deeper, you want to have access to the more content, so that fish can actually be worth more, etc. So there's no good reason to not progress the story. Yeah, I can't think of a good reason. And if your reason is, yeah, but I wanna enjoy killing fish at the higher depths, hey, you still can, you know. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. One thing I should be doing, and that I'm not doing, is I should be getting some scrap metal, because I have now actually found a third net gun, which means that the net gun will be unlocked and that I should be able to craft one, but it requires 2 scrap metals, and I have not picked a single scrap metal since the beginning of the game. And so you'll see later that I actually will not have what I need. So I'm just getting out now with 81 kilo worth, and that's also why I'm much more liberal about taking like 2-star fish, is that I have plenty of inventory space, so I use it to the best of my ability. And now I unlock the net gun, and that's where I discovered that I cannot craft it because I don't have the scrap iron. So I'm like, oh no! Once again, we sell the stuff. So one thing I also do very proactively is to always check the value of the fish I caught. And here I'm looking at the Harlequin hind and saying, oh, okay, I got 5 pieces of that, and it's 6 gold per kilo, so that's 30 gold for 6 pieces. So when you catch it alive, you actually get 30, close to 30 gold per kilo, because it's 1.1, so it's like 28 gold per kilo, which is still very good. Once again, following our baseline of 15 gold per kilo that we're targeting. So this next dive is we're not going to be able to progress the story in any way. So we'll just go 100% for catching the fish. So that also means that if you forgot to get to the cave, well, you have a second chance. So by now you should have like really well noted where the cuttlefish, the puffer is always located. So that when you do your own run like this, you should be able to get them. So here I'm starting to get Harlequin hinds. So here we are hunting for clown frogfish. You always have either the clown frogfish or the blue-headed tilefish. Those 2 fish always appear separately. They're never there both at the same time. Also, the mackerel scads are when you have the mackerel scads, you don't have the big-eye scads. And same thing with trevally. There's the big-eye trevally. You only have them in this biome. So that's just one thing to note. Kind of knowing which fish comes with what fish. And I got surprised by this tiger shark here, so I'm gonna punish him with a lightning harpoon, which does insane amount of damage if there's lots of fish lying around. The lightning harpoon is the harpoon that deals the most damage if there's other fish around. If there's no other fish around, then it doesn't do any extra damage. The only downside is that it has the most terrible quick time event. And here I unfortunately killed a Harlequin hind. I'm also here farming the giant trevally, not for their meat, but for their fins, because we are going to need that if we want to upgrade the sniper rifle to rank 3. Another thing I don't want to forget is to go and get some agar. So I actually do go back up in the search for some agar because I just don't want to run out of that resource. It'd be silly if you kind of... It's easy to kind of forget about it. You know, you get the buffers, you get the soy sauce, and then suddenly you realize, oh no, I don't have any agars anymore. So yeah, we do try and keep getting them. Another thing I'm hoping to find is limestone caves, because I want to keep farming the white spotted jellyfish and the sea grapes. Unfortunately, I haven't seen too many limestone caves thus far, but this specific formation for the cave has 3 puffers in it, and there's different locations where they can spawn, but as you can see here, they're going to spawn all 3 of them exactly here. So this is perfect. Well, it would be more perfect if I could actually aim properly, but yeah. So this is it for this dive, and now we're getting back home ready for the night. So we have 4 new recruits here, James, Yusuke, Liu, and John D. James and Yusuke James is a pretty good cook, and Yusuke is a pretty good procurer. I don't really care about the 2 others. Liu can become pretty good for procure later on in the game, but not at this stage, so I'm not going to bother about leveling them. And now we have Vincent the Gourmet, who's going to come and challenge Bancho and saying, hey, you know what? I bet you cannot do any delicious jellyfish dish. And this is, of course, when we are going to be getting the limestone cave we were talking about earlier. So that one is going to spawn now for 3 straight days, which is when we get it. So first and foremost, before anything, well, we make sure we recruit everyone. You want to hire the characters first before you run an ad. That's really important, because if you run the ad before you hire them, you will not get a chance to hire them because it'll just be gone. So that's something that I've learned the hard way. So James, we are going to train to level 3, I think. We don't want to overtrain our characters because, well, the more we train them, the more they cost on a daily basis, and we don't really need to train him much more than that. So we're leaving at level 3. Why level 3? Because this unlocks his cooking plus skill, giving him 205 cooking. And because he's not, like, he's a decent cook, but he's definitely not the best cook. So we don't want to overcommit to it. Now we are going to train Yusuke because he's not bad at procure, but you need to give him a few levels. And what's interesting is he also gets at level 3 an ingredient prep expert. So the thing is, you can actually swap your cooks before you start your service. So you can use one cook who has the ingredient prep skill and then prepare your ingredients for the night, and then swap to have your higher cooking value cook being the one who actually does the service, which is what I'm going to do here. So I'm training Yusuke to actually level 5 because this is going to give him pretty decent procure, 1 to 4. Now I mistakenly dispatch him for soy sauce, but then I will actually change that. And this is when I realize, oh no, I've dispatched Yusuke. So I remove him from dispatch. You can remove them from dispatch, no problem. There's not going to be any consequences to it. I swap him as James, and then I prepare my starry puffers. And there's a 5% chance that I get an extra serving. Now, I'm not going to get lucky this time, but, you know, if you do, it can sometimes make a big difference. Sometimes it doesn't make any difference, but those times it does make a difference is what you want to happen, what you want to see happen. So now I just swap back to James, and I send Yusuke to soy sauce dispatch. So here we've started the night, and when you do the wasabi thing, you can actually stop before the 100% mark by just pressing C if you're playing on PC. It's good to stop while you're doing it and not going 100% because there's an animation and you don't want to run that animation if you're in a rush. So here I notice, oh, I am out of puffer nikogori. What am I gonna do? And I kind of hesitate. Okay, am I gonna serve some extra reef shark because maybe I'm gonna not be able to sell all of that? And I'm kind of thinking about it and saying, no, what I want is to make as much money as I can. Reef shark is 75 per serving. Nikogori is 288. If I just serve one nikogori, I make more money than just with 5 reef sharks. So I just add 1 extra serving of nikogori. And I also realize that we're also going to very soon hit the next cooksta level, and I actually have enough people in the restaurant to do so. So I keep a good eye on this and I wait till it reaches 20 out of 20, and sure enough, it happens now. And as soon as it happens, boom, I go in the cooksta thing and I rank up. You don't want to waste a second ranking up because there is a point at which you cannot rank up anymore during the night. So you really want to be on the ball with that. Because as soon as you rank up, new customers are going to start streaming in. So you're actually going to get more customers that night because you ranked up. And sure enough, you can see there's some more customers coming in. And I'm keeping a close eye on the amount of Nikogoro serving that I have left. I am 1 out of 5, 0 out of 5. And then before I do anything stupid, I count the customers. I look, I see, okay, there's no more customers coming in. I don't have to make any more. And so I actually prepared 20 nikogoris and I sold 20 nikogoris. No waste at all. 5.0 on today's score. And a perfect night. We've got 6,000 extra money in our bank. And at the end of this night, there is this little cinematic. Goodbye, little princess. And this is the end of day 5. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on day 6, where we are going to try and rescue the princess. See you tomorrow, and keep on diving.